We've updated our Stripe and connected it to our bank account. Well, the fastest way to get money in the door, it's not a actual physical product or an actual digital product like a app in the App Store. The fastest way is actually if you sell your case study. Hey gang, welcome back to another episode of UXPRENEUR. Today I have something special planned for you guys. Over the past 4 years, I have reviewed countless portfolios from amongst you all my UX mentees and all my UX students from UCSD to Springboard. And so during that time, I started to see this theme, this pattern emerge, which is everybody was framing themselves as students, and they were really just saying, hey, here's some school project assignment I did. Did I do well? But to hiring managers, they're looking at it like this isn't a real project. It's not treated like it's not a real project. It's not in the market. It's not a real product. There was no engineer involved. And so you're running into hiring managers saying, do you have any real experience? And then you come up dry. So what I thought about during this time was, hey, what if we actually framed it as a scientific case study rather than a school project? Using the scientific method, we have a hypothesis, our design, we test it in the market, or we test it on people that are representative of the market with statistics, and we actually show that in our portfolio as a case study, much like a PhD would in publishing their scientific article to Elsevier scientific journal publication for design studies. Why can't we do that? Well, during my time at AARP, I actually did a little research on designing for seniors, and I came across an article by Nielsen Norman Group that I'd like to show you. And in that article, I saw they actually sell the full case study for $125 for an individual license. So I thought to myself, where have I seen this before? Well, in one of my favorite books, The 4-Hour Workweek by Tim Ferriss, he describes that the fastest product to make is a knowledge product. Here I am conducting this UXPRENEUR channel and really trying to get you guys to viability as soon as possible, and I forgot that the fastest way to launch a product to the market is actually a knowledge product in the knowledge economy. So we've updated our Stripe and connected it to our bank account. Well, the fastest way to get money in the door, and if I wanted to over deliver to you guys, it's not an actual physical product or an actual digital product like an app in the App Store. We can, but not yet. The fastest way is actually if you sell your case study as knowledge. So grab that popcorn. Let's dive in. During my work with AARP, I did some research on usability for seniors, and I came across this Nielsen Norman Group article published in 2019. And I was reading through it and everything, and then I saw this summary from earlier research with seniors, and that's when I landed on this page. And I was like, oh man, it's $125 for an individual license and $260 for my group. And here you can see they have like the headline, the edition, the tags, a little intro, the contents, and it started to remind me of scientific journal publication Elsevier, where we have our design studies as a field, okay? Articles in the press, publish, order the journal, about, articles and issues. Let's see the latest issue, that kind of thing. Oh, okay. Here I was experiencing that feeling of a false bottom. You see that line here? It makes it feel as though it's ended. So perhaps not the best choice here for UX design, but hey, articles, here they are, latest published. Okay, so take a look at this. Timely and timeless framing of the new Mini Cooper. Okay, it's about a car, published September 2022. Interesting. That's really, and it's open access. So they don't charge for this one, but some are abstract only, you see. Research article, evaluation of physical models as creative stimuli and conceptual design of products. Matthias and everybody, July. Purchase the PDF. Now this is what I'm drilling home to today. Here you have the headline. The authors, looks like 1, 2, 3, 4. You can even show more about them. Then you have the highlights. Okay, look, very similar, topics covered, okay, highlights. And then you have the abstract itself, keywords, again, keywords. And then you actually have to buy it. It looks like they're showing some figures here. They have the outline, the tables, purchase PDF. You see how small that is compared to this one? I think this is a much clearer call to action. But the lesson learned here is that scientific case studies, like what we see in Elsevier and what we see on Nielsen Norman Group, are part of the knowledge economy. And so that allows us to sell our knowledge and be seen as a thought leader rather than a student just doing some fake project. We really frame our case studies as scientific with these two models. Now, I'm sure out there's somewhere where there's like a white paper for, in a way, this is sort of like a white paper, but they frame it as a book, so they're trying to really bolster it. That's a free one from IBM. We use white papers a lot, so let's just take a look at that. What is a white paper? Okay, here we go. From Wikipedia. A white paper is a report or guide that informs readers concisely about a complex issue and presents the issuing body's philosophy on the matter. Sounds like something that we would see in a case study. A white paper is an informational document issued by a company or a nonprofit organization to promote, highlight the features of a solution, blah, 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 blah. Yeah, I'm not sure about that, Investopedia. I'll go with Wikipedia's on this one. A white paper is an in-depth report or guide about a specific topic and the problems that surround it. It is meant to educate readers and help them. Okay, nice, Folion. Thank you. So here you also see a white paper is a research-based report which offers a focused description of a complex topic and presents the point of view of the author. Ooh, so this starts to remind me of our UX design case studies. And so the fastest way to both show your expertise and get money in the door is through the knowledge economy by selling our case studies, but giving them a taste on the landing page for it. And so I'd like to show you guys how to do that. This idea actually comes from the book 4-Hour Workweek. Again, I turned to the 4-Hour Workweek by Tim Ferriss for a weekend read. And I love this book, and on page 199, he talks about Income Pilot 2, Fast to Market. And it's actually not him, it's Matt Schmidt. And Fast to Market is the smoke test where we run a ad campaign to our landing page to see if people sign up, see if they're interested, see if they'll put money where their mouth is. And that's exactly what he does. He uses PayPal instead of Stripe because back then Stripe didn't exist. And he gets all their information, but he basically says, oh, sorry, it's not working right now. There's a technical issue with PayPal. And so people are like, oh, okay, bummer. But if he gets enough people that actually pay with their credit card and stuff, he gets a spreadsheet and all their information is in there, then he'll actually make the product, okay? So that's an interesting way of testing the market before we build anything. And that's that smoke test idea, is to send it out and test it using Google AdWords or Facebook ads in order to see if there's enough interest, if people will really sign up for it, if they'll give you their credit card number. He's saying, Matt Schmidt here is that, okay, finally, we know that they will certainly put money where their mouth is. And so he actually emails them back and say, hey, sorry, it was not working, but here's the product. And, thank you. And a lot of people, they wanted to follow through with that purchase. So that's the fast to market on page 199. But another part of the book actually talks about the types of products that we can create. Okay, so here it is. It begins on page 163. Where he talks about different product options. We could resell an existing product and create a business. We could license a product, like a logo or what have you, graphic art for a company. We could create a product from scratch, which is complicated. That's like a physical product in this case, or software as a service like we've been working on. And then finally, in that section called Option 3, create a product, he talks about the knowledge product on page 166. He says, putting mechanical devices aside and forgetting about welding and engineering, there is one class of product that meets all of our criteria, has a manufacturing lead time of less than a week in small quantities, and often permits not just an 8 to 10x markup, but a 20 to 50x markup. No, not heroin, nor slave labor, but information. Information products are low cost, fast to manufacture, and time consuming for competitors to duplicate. So, he goes on about that, and you can read this and pick it up for yourself, link down in the description. But this book gives us these ideas around, wait a second, you know, it'd be faster than taking our software as a service, our app design from a boot camp to market with a co-founder. What would be faster is if we frame our case studies as scientific journal publications, like we saw Nielsen Norman Group do, and actually sell it as an information product, as Tim Ferriss would call it. We could go to humdrum.com and we could log back in. We'll ignore the CAPTCHA thing for now. And what we could do is add a new product. And this could be our case study, white paper, okay, for our portfolio. And here we can describe our abstract, right? We could show some highlights, etc. And a case study white paper scientific publication. Okay, we could set the price to it. How much do they sell it for? $125. All right, let's come in at a bargain, $99. Okay, and then down here we can actually link to the file on our media library. So we can add that there. We can use a product thumbnail like they did. Here's a nice product thumbnail. We can upload that, send them to our thank you page. We can edit the button, give it a class, show the button only, and everything else is good to go. We can just come up here and we'll get our short code and we can put that on there, or we could use this link to add a link. Okay, so when I go down here to download, I select it, I can actually upload the file there, right? So for example, let's just go get a white paper that we were talking about earlier from, let's go get the PDF one from IBM. Beyond the Hype, a guide to understanding and successful blah, 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 blah. Okay, let's just download that for now. Sure. And we'll go to our website here. We'll select media. Boom. There we go. Now we're selling white papers. And we'll go ahead and insert that. There's the link to it. The thumbnail, let's go ahead and take a look at that. We'll take a screenshot of this. Thanks, IBM. Boom. Here it is. Now, you can't really sell this one because IBM could sue you for using their brand and their content. But this is just a placeholder for now for us. We could actually go get a, like a letterhead mock-up, right? You can see some of these are, with a paper and a pencil. The simplest one, I think, is something like that. So let's just open this in a new tab real quick. And I'll just copy it. I'm going to open Figma real quick. We'll just pick a new design file. When that's done loading, I'm just going to Command V, paste it in. Okay. And then I'll go to our Finder. I'll grab that screenshot, paste it in. Nice. Okay, cool. It's going to help if I actually take this and just stretch it out. I'm going to click I on the keyboard, grab that color that it is. Just kind of matching it up there. I'm send it back a little bit. Here, grab that. It's pretty close. Okay. Now what I want to do is come in here to pass through, and I'll just say multiply, and it takes that color. I'm going to come in here to the fill area, crop it down just a bit. It's already cropping a little bit, but let's go ahead and give it some more right there in alignment. Down here as well. Let's get it over just a wee bit. Let's see what's going on up here. Yeah, it looks good. We got a little black bar down here, so let's go ahead and crop that off. Enter. Okay. All right, kind of looks intentional here. All right. So let's imagine. And what I'll do is I'm going to go ahead and grab everything here, and I'll just right click it and frame that selection. This way I can give it a name, like our case study cover. Okay. I'm just going to go ahead and export that. It's pretty large already, so I'll keep it 1K. Now I can go back to here, and let's just, this is a product thumbnail. That's going to be really small. So perhaps what I just made was more for our actual landing page. So here, what do I need is just a little teaser of that. So let's come in here to this frame. I'm going to go ahead and clip content. What happens if I just clip it like that? And what I'm going to do is open these things up here. I'll go from top to right. That way, when I change it, keeps it in position here. Something like that. You can see that we're almost even. I could do like a 1475 by 1475. Grab everything inside. Just, I kind of like that pencil in there, so it's pretty cool. Just grab these. Something like that is cool. Maybe I could come up a little bit more too, since it is a thumbnail. Cool. Okay, now I'm going to rename this thumbnail. And I'll go ahead and instead of 1x, because it's pretty large, I'm going to half it and export that. Now that makes a lot more sense for the thumbnail. All right, insert. Okay, cool, got it. We could also say don't use that here, okay? We can put our thank you page in there. Button text is, let's just go use the same one as they did, add to cart. Let's go ahead, we'll just say purchase on ours. And the price. Maybe I'll put a little bar in between. We'll go ahead and give it our stripe button class, show button only. Okay, cool. So now we set up our $100 case study to really go ahead and get people to respect us and things like that. So let's go ahead and publish that. All right, I'm going to copy our short code. Let's just add a new page real quick. We'll do it with Elementor. You know me, I'm always going to go clean this up for now. Elementor canvas. Poof. Nice and clear. Come down here to our short code. Oh, put it in there. Right, there's our button. Maybe I'll go to edit the section. And I will give it that fit to screen height. I'll go to typography and go ahead and center align it. Boom, boom, boom. Publish it. All right, let's have a look. When I click it, what happens? Case study white paper. And then people are like, dang, they're off the charts. Let's get our image in here that we did. I'll put it right above. Go ahead and grab that image. We are going to actually upload our bigger image file. Now we're kind of glad we made it. It's a little bigger, so it's going to take a while. Insert the media. It's always smart to put alt tags in there and stuff too. All right, cool. So there we have that. We can change that size too to be medium or whatever. I think large is fine for now. Okay, update. All right, refresh. Okay, and we could put some more things in here underneath or on the left or the right. For example, if we added 2 sections in here and we put the book on the left, then on the right we could put our heading and we could put our text, and we could even put our button in there. Let me grab the edit area here. Oh, just like that. And now I no longer need to style that as center align. So what I'll do is I'll right click the column, edit that, go to style, typography, left align, and go back to layout. And what we'll do is middle so that it lines up here. We can actually right click this intersection and instead of box give it full width. See what happens. Nothing much happened actually. Looks like we have another column in here. Yeah, column width. Let's just do 100 or 1000 apparently. And we have a couple of columns in here. That column's different. That column's different. Let's come up here to our section. And you can see its layout is boxed. So we can do full width here. And now we get the full width effect. We could use this to say no gap and then it'll go all the way. Stuff like that. But we can actually keep the gap for now. It just gives us a nice gutter. And we could keep it boxed, but we could change the width, you see, to be a certain amount. Okay. I'm just going to remove that for now. We'll just let it be organic. And I'll update that. Refresh. And here we have our white paper. And you could add more sections to this. And this could be your case study. So you can get to viability quicker, getting money for your work that you've done scientifically as a UXpreneur. All right, gang, I hope you enjoyed that video on how to sell our case studies in the knowledge economy so we can make some type of economic impact on our lives in the short term rather than long term with a passive income stream known as a knowledge product from the book 4 Hour Workweek by Tim Ferriss. We could take his advice and align it with what we do as UX designers to become a UXpreneur. So I hope you liked this video. Click the like button if you liked it, subscribe if you haven't already, and click the bell notification to be notified of future videos like this one, and I'll see you there. Bye-bye.